Hello, it's Ryan here from All Effective Cleaners in Lakenheath. Follow up from part 1. Before I wanted to order any bits, I just wanted to double check to make sure this board is faulty. And I've got this board connected up to a 24 volt bench power supply, and it seems to be running alright, nothing seems to be pulling it down. So that turns my attention to, is it the 24 volt DC power supply on the machine giving an issue? As soon as I got my 24 volt power supply here, we'll connect my auxiliary 24 volt power supply up to the machine to sort of jerry rig it in, and we'll see if this machine fires up. Now this is only a limited 3 amp supply, and I do believe the pumps on these run about 3 or 4 amps each, so we won't be able to run any of the powerful stuff, but we will be able to run and hopefully power up the screen and all the control system and get everything to fire up and do some basic testing. So I'll join you when we got it all back together. I've got power supply precariously balanced on here. I took the side panels off, and what I've done is I actually found another wiring loom, connected that onto the board, cut the end off, put in this little Wago block, then put my little joiner wires on. Unfortunately, my black clip wire, I broke the crocodile clip, so I had to shove that in. Got this little wire here for the positive, and that's just connected up to the power supply. So what I'll do is we'll fire the machine up, I'll fire the 24 volt power supply up, and we'll see what happens. I'll put you on the tripod. And we're back again, we're ready to fire the machine up. So what we're going to do is, we're going to turn the power mains voltage onto the machine. Now nothing should happen until we turn the 24 volt power supply on, like so. Oh, you can see all the current limiting, so we'll up that to an amp. Alright, we're now no longer current limiting. The machine has turned on, and I hope it should come up. Yeah, bean hopper missing. Bean hopper missing, command unit up. So we'll drop the bean hoppers in, and hopefully we should get a ground draw error, because we don't actually put the ground draw in. So when we drop this in, you should hear a little click. Don't know if you heard a little click, but now it says insert ground draw on lower dispense head. That's obviously going through the right motions. It's going to ask for a cold start rinse. Now this isn't actually connected to water at the moment, so we can't actually do a cold start rinse, but we can go through the motions. No, we better not actually, it won't do the pump any good. I don't let any water in. What we'll do is we'll up the current limit, we'll go full power because we seem to be operating alright. Now we can't go through cold start rinse because there isn't actually any water in there, or no water connected. So what we can do is we can go into the engineer's test menu and check. We'll zoom in a bit for this, we'll move in a bit closer. The engineer's test menu. Now because certain functions won't work until we cold start rinse, and it probably asks for a clean as well. So things like grinder isn't going to work because it hasn't probably locked out on a clean, but we can try all the basic things. We'll try the 24 volt. We'll go through all the inputs. So the boiler temperature is 5 degrees. I don't think there's any water in this one. I think it was drained out. But you see we've got all the tick menus, so we can see that grams draw is detected. If we pull that out, it's not detected. Flow meter, again, that's for when the water's running through. We don't have that. Brewing motor in end position. If we go to mill position, you can see that now gets across. Motor rotation detected, again that's mill position. Bean hopper and panel okay, so if we remove the bean hopper, it comes up with an X. Coffee cleaning key, again you've got a couple of read switches on the tablet, so you've got one to say the cleaning key is in, so we've got tick if the cleaning key is in, but we don't have a tick for a tablet. If we open that, cleaning key is out. If we press that down, ooh, that pin is actually worn up quite a bit, so that one has probably got a leak. Probably that want replacing. So Add that to the list. Then we have milk level. Now this one doesn't have milk too. Now these use capacitive sensors. So in theory is, if I just move you slightly so I can open the door, I can, in theory, wet my hand slightly, or even just run my hand up. Just by sticking my hand in, I can say that the milk's full. And then obviously have a milk cleaning key. And then if we push the little pin in, which is somewhere in there, that one there, yeah. And then milk temperature. On these particular machines, they have a sensor on top of the fridge. It's a bit of a crap design, really. But the theory is it's supposed to give you warnings if your milk's getting too hot. But the problem is it sits on top of the fridge and below the machine, and it only really works when there's cold milk going through it. But as an indication, and then you've got refrigerator temperature. Now these sensors are notorious for failing, because this fridge is actually turned off, and it should be roughly about, I don't know, 5 degrees or so. Obviously the temperature's a bit out. Again, it's all a rough guidance. These sensors aren't 100%. So if we go through all the outputs, grinder 1 and grinder 2 won't work. Coffee heater won't work. We won't run coffee pump because we've got no water connected. We won't run milk pump because there's no milk connected. We'll do brew valve. So that lets the hot water out the boiler to make your coffee. Coffee air valve. What this does is, it's the valve on the front of the tray. So when you finish dispensing coffee, what this does is this little valve opens, lets air in, and lets all the coffee out of the tube to keep it clean. T valve, again, that just lets hot water out the boiler, so you get hot water coming out the outlet. Milk drain valve, simple as that is, that tends milk to drain. Milk select valve, we know we don't have milk select in the UK. This is for other countries in the world where they run 2 milks, but in the UK we're quite zero tolerance on food contamination, so we don't have that over here. Milk drain gate, that is, I can never remember which one. There's 2 on here. Drain gate, that's the, I think that's the one where you, after it makes the drink, it rinses the system out. I think milk drain is the one that lets all the water out of the system and a little bit of milk, and then changes over to let milk come at the outlet. Milk air valve is for your foam, that's on the bottom of the milk pump. Milk rinse valve, that one there is on the cleaning block between the pump and the milk pump. What that does is that rinses the system out every time it does a drink. Milk clean valve, I believe, is the valve on the back of the cleaning chamber that loops it around for cleaning. Pod and clean valve, that's the hot water on top of the boiler. Mill position, again, that one makes the piston go backwards and forward. Loop cleaner valve is the valve on the side as part of your figure 8 configuration. Just loops the cleaning solution round. And loop gate valve is also the valve on the side that also does your loop. These ones are nice and simple. Got valves all over the machine, so yeah, as far as I'm concerned, everything's working good. I don't know how well the power supply is running at, but currently at the moment we're running about 0.6 amps. What's the most power hungry thing on it? It's probably going to be the mill motor. This it drops up to about 2.2 amps. That's a little valve, that probably won't draw bugger all. Nah, it didn't draw bugger all. Coffee air valve, that's a big valve. So you can see, yeah, everything seems to be working on it. Obviously, it's up to the customer now. I'll have a chat with them. Obviously, they're going to need a new 24-volt power supply. I don't think they're going to be particularly impressed. So yeah, everything seems to be working alright. Obviously, there's a couple of things that wrong with it. So we've got a power supply that's packed up. The cleaning key probably wants a new pin. Probably going to want a new chamber actually. I think that's wore up. What else we got? The fridge is going to want a new... we'll drop you down. on there they usually have like a little plastic filter strainer on the end. What happens is when milk starts getting low, it draws air in, you end up with cover foam, so you do want a new plastic bit on there. Yeah, it's a good job that I checked that power board, because I could have ordered a new one of them control boards and I still wouldn't have fixed it. Now, there was a point when I was editing the video back, I think it was last night or the night before, well, I noticed things. Well, perhaps it was the power supply having an issue, but the problem is, you know, it's getting late. You don't always make the best decisions when it's late. Everything seems to be working good. Obviously, some things we can't test, but I'll have a chat with the customer and see where they want to go. So yeah, machine all fixed.